Yeah, and I'd read somewhere about Saudi Arabia, I think. They send all their animals to India by land.
No,
So
no,
you
they don't.
raise them? No?
No, they don't
No.
send us any animals. We have our own animals. We grow them, we kill them, and then we send them to Jordan, Saudi. We feed the whole Middle East.
It's
They don't grow any animals at all except camels,
yeah,
which they eat themselves.
yeah. Wow, very sad to hear. So I want to know what you think. Clearly you've done so much. If we were to summarize, you've got these animal law books, you're educating the judges, you're educating the lawyers, and going into the schools, and you're educating, and you're taking one-on-one calls from people, and it's constant education. So you're doing a lot for India. What would you like to see for other leaders in the world so that they would protect animals, leaders of other countries, leaders of corporations? Like, how can we wake them up?
Okay. So if I had to make one thing for a wish list, it's not to change the leader, but to push really hard for something called clean meat. That will change the world. If I had to do one thing before I die to change the world, it would be to have clean meat. What is clean meat? Clean meat is allowing meat eaters to eat meat which is not made from animals, but from cellular multiplication.
Right.
So if no matter how many dogs we save and how many elephants we save, it's nothing compared to the billions of chickens, fish, turkeys, cows, buffaloes that are killed, the meat industry. So if we could just simply have the multiplication of meat through cells, then you wouldn't have to grow any of these animals for meat. So there would be no suffering involved. Third, there would not be any disease in the meat, which now exists because of the way the animal is treated.
Right.
A third, it would stop us from wasting our time trying to turn meat eaters into vegetarians.
Yeah.
Even though the vegan movement and the vegetarian movement has taken off, even then, the meat eating today is the highest it has ever been since the beginning of time.
That's ridiculous. I just don't get it.
Meat
Yeah.
eaters are eating more.
Mm-hmm.
So the best thing would be to let them eat meat, but just don't eat meat which is made from an animal.
Right.
Now, there are many companies that have started doing this, but it's just not fast enough. Even India put some money. When I was minister, we put some money into experimenting on creating clean meat into the Institute of Cellular Biology in Hyderabad. That's not going fast at all. But America is going very fast. America, Europe.
Yeah.
And there are one of the wonderful things is that most of these companies have got Indians either at the top or in the top level. And there is one group of two boys, both Indians, in California, in Silicon Valley, in fact. And they have invented, it's taken them 10 years, but they have finally invented clean milk, which is milk that is multiplied through cellular biology. And it's called Perfect Foods. They used to call it Moo-Free, MUUFRRI.
Yeah.
But now they've changed it to Perfect Foods. And that is available on the market. It's just that they are not marketing it. They're giving it as a base product, which is not good enough. Somebody has to market this as clean milk.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Now, the amazing thing about this is that it will happen. I hope it happens during my lifetime, but it will happen because the same people who caused you see, what was the first disruption in the world that changed the world as we know it? It was electricity. The second possibly was cars. Okay. Yeah. But even if cars hadn't come along, something would have. The second disruption was computers. Now, the third disruption and the most important disruption would be clean meat and clean milk, because it would free up all your forests and all your lands from animals. It would change climate change because no more methane would be put into the air. And methane is much worse than carbon dioxide.
Absolutely.
In creating heat. The third thing, it would remove suffering. And if animals don't suffer, people won't suffer as well.
That's right.
Who are the most dangerous people on the planet? They are, according to every study done, they are people who work in slaughterhouses, because they get so used to killing that it doesn't matter whether it's a human, whether it's their wives, children, neighbors. They are violent people.
Yeah.
So
They actually get mentally ill, don't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
They get
we
mental illness.
actually could remove this entire cadre of violence, that whole level of violence. And if we remove that, we would be better off. And think how the gods must hate us. How much suffering. You eat meat the whole day, and then at night you say, please, Jesus, give me a promotion, get rid of my cough. Please make my wife love me, get my children to get good jobs. And now, why should Jesus do it for you? Since you couldn't do it for his lambs and you couldn't do it for his doves, why should he do it for you?
Yeah, no kidding. People are having, there's a disconnect there, isn't there?
Yeah.
For
So,
sure.
So I think that the single thing I would like to see happen is for clean meat to come commercially into the market. And for that, we will have to thank, when it finally does, we'll have to thank PETA, which I shouldn't be promoting because I should be promoting People for Animals, which is my own thing. But since they started it because they offered $1 million to anybody who could make a cellular hamburger. I think it was in the early 2000s. And Holland made the first hamburger. And then from there, every company got into the act. And it's taken a long time. It's been 20 years since they've been experimenting. Unfortunately, what is standing in the way of clean meat is what is known as mock meat. See, mock meat is meat made out of vegetables that taste like meat.
Oh, yeah.
People think that that's an answer. But no meat eaters eat mock meat. It's only vegetarians that eat mock meat and then don't become meat eaters after that because they like the taste so much. So I think it's a really foolish thing to have on the market at all.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Impossible Meats, all these companies are doing so well that the race to make meat out of meat cells is going slow.
Well, that's interesting. I had no idea that that was actually preventing, forward movement. Well, let's pray for this clean meat and clean dairy to
that will change
forward very
completely. Yeah.
And in the meantime, what would you like to see the average human do to protect animals? That's a bigger question.
Become vegan.
Become vegan, yes.
If you don't eat them, they won't exist for you to eat.
Yes,
exactly. And then you can enjoy the deer, and you can enjoy the falcons, and you can enjoy all of what life was really supposed to be, instead of looking at the suffering of a cow or a pig or which is unbearable.
I can't even watch those films anymore. I cry. It's just too hard. It's just too hard. Yeah, for sure. All right. So
there's a wonderful film that we should show called Maneka Gandhi.
Maka, say it again.
Maneka Gandhi, it means mother's milk.
Oh,
it was recently shown to me in Nepal. Nepal had its first vegan conference, which I was surprised and delighted at, because Nepal is a hardcore meat-eating country.
Yeah.
And at this vegan conference, they had 300 people, including generals from the Nepal army and teachers and, people who weren't embarrassed to be vegan. It's no longer seen as one of those pussyfooting things that, little old ladies do. Or hippie movement. So they showed this film. It was incredible. I'll send it to you by email.
Okay, that'd be great.
And you should show it.
Well, we'll actually add it on top of our podcast. We'll give people the link so they can go and watch it. Yeah. That would be fabulous. So what are your future goals for People for Animals?
What is my future goal of People for Animals? Well, one, we have 700 districts and I only have 26 or 27 hospitals. So I'd like to make another 100, because government has no infrastructure for animal medicine at all. So if an animal is hit on the road, as they are in the hundreds every day, where should they go? Nowhere. They should lie down and die there itself. So I'd like to have more shelters. For that, I need more money. So if there's anybody in the mood to donate, I'd be grateful. Secondly, I would like to have at least one veterinary college, which is good. We have only 33 in India, all of which are one worse than the other and produce rubbish because their syllabuses are 1920 or, BC. And the kind of people who join them, I really don't want to be vets. They just want the word doctor in front of their name.
Yeah, right on.
They join because it has no entrance test. They're not serious. People who study become the teachers. So so we need to have one veterinary college which becomes the benchmark. And I'd like to start that. But that again, I need an investor.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'd like to see many more policy changes. And if I had to ask for one thing, I would ask for meat export to be stopped. You want to feed your own people? Feed. But 70% of our meat is feeding the rest of the world. And I'd like to see meat export stopped.
Well, let's pray for that.
Well, inshallah.
Let's pray for that. So again, if there are any veterinarians listening to this podcast, watching this podcast, please contact peopleforanimals.india.org. And anyone who has any spare cash to donate to this wonderful organization. You can see they're changing the world for animals. Their heart is so full of love for animals. They're doing everything possible to save them. So, Maneka, any final comments from you, or Raj, any questions you have? Maneka and I have kind of taken over this conversation.
I love the thought, individual, the Maneka said. It's very important. And the second thought, I love self-realization and clean our heart. We are praying, oh God, give me job, give me this thing, that thing. It's not good. Same thing, we are eating meat and we are acting like we are very good people. So that is very important. One individual will change 500 people. This is very important. And it's a very important tagline also. And I don't know about politician, but I love your work.
I'm actually I'm the most senior member in Parliament. I've won 8 times. So I've been in Parliament for over 30 years.
Wow. Good for you.
I think you deserve for international leader, not on India, because you have done awesome work. Because when I was in school, 2002, I don't know about politics. I don't know about you, to be very honest, but my one of family person, they said about you have done so much amazing work for animals, and the chickens, they feel in the very bad shape in the truck. So you did a lot for these things, and the dog shelters in my near defense colony area, and that thing. So that thing I love. And today I got this opportunity to meeting with you, so it's really honor for me. And I really wish, and I want these things will be go through FM, some festivals, some events for the animal awareness, so people will more aware about these law and how we protect our street dogs, street animals, cat, because I'm also animal lover. So I think this is very important. So I'm really glad meeting with you today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
There's a lady closing story in Ukraine. You know how many people fled from Ukraine, millions, and they left their animals behind. So this lady, she's 78 years old. She started an animal shelter, and there are 700 dogs and 100 cats, and she's feeding them and looking after them. And I just went, wow, there are so many people with big hearts. So maybe we invite everyone who's watching this podcast, no matter what country you live in, if there isn't a shelter, then start a shelter. Look after these beautiful beings, because they have feelings too. Animals are our friends. They're sentient beings. They have hearts and feelings, and let's show them so much love, and we will get that love back from them. Yeah?
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Maneka. God bless you. See you soon. Bye now.
Can anybody out there hear me? hear me.